So you're here for this protest. Why specifically are you here for this protest? What's driving you? What's taking you to this event?
Well, I guess it's just the fear that we're losing our country. The fear that the democracy that we think we've had is evaporating. And that's upsetting. It's really upsetting.
And I believe that the current administration is not abiding by the rule of law, and our Constitution is threatened.
Would you take more drastic actions than visibilities?
Give me an example.
Confronting your congressperson at their office, stuff like that?
To my Congress.
Okay.
Already.
It depends on what you mean by confronting, you know.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
I mean, but certainly write to them.
Yeah.
Let our voices be heard.
Excellent. Thank you.
There are so many issues.
Go ahead.
We disagree with them.
Because
Nice and loud.
Trump and Musk are breaking the law. They're going against the Constitution. Nobody's holding them accountable. And Musk is hatcheting through, and we keep our whole government, our way of life, and people are hurting and they're hungry, and there's no thought to it.
I agree.
Etc.
with every single sign that's up here. There are so many issues, but definitely I'm worried about our democracy, and I want to see what the Supreme Court is going to do.
Are you hopeful at all?
I'm hopeful for justice system. I think the Supreme
And he
Court
doesn't
might
steal our
actually the RC. We'll see.
I'm worried for Ukraine.
I'm worried for them. I'm worried for the refugees, the way they're being treated. I'm worried for children with education, with vaccinations. Everything is falling apart. Musk, we're supposed to feel sorry because his Teslas are going down. They have no empathy for human beings and what they're going through. Same with Trump, and they lie all the time. I mean, for truth, justice, and the American way. That's what it is.
I just hope that there's a midterm election. I think we'll do well.
If we make it to
Well, if they don't cancel it, if they find a way to get us into a war, then all
getting
bets
rid
are
of
off. So
newspapers and media, they're getting rid of journalism, they're getting rid of education, they're getting rid of books, they're getting rid of health care,
Yes.
they're taking Social Security,
Yes.
they are just taking it.
And I know people that they are messing with their Social Security. They earned their Social Security and then they moved down to Costa Rica. They can't get in. And they've been sent some money, and I said, don't spend it. Now it's going to be their Social Security being canceled because there was an irregularity. Watch out for these guys. They're slippery.
I'm worried about the finances of the country.
Yes.
I don't understand how they think that America will have more money as a result. So many unemployed people. And it just it ripples through the system. It's not just federal employees. It's all the people that support the federal employees in other ways.
And it's
And
also,
unemployment insurance. Everybody's going to be
Right.
and
And
that's
our
mainly
security-
federal government money.
I think he wanted a government shutdown.
our security with Russia and China, we have no defenses anymore.
All
I'm
of our
afraid
friends
we can
hate
have
us.
we're losing our contact with everybody in Europe and our friends up north. For what?
And south.
For more money for them. Yeah. It's scary.
So, what brought you to this protest in Exeter?
Friends of mine, I came yesterday because there was another protest, and then I heard about this one today. And I want to do something, and it's really hard to feel helpless. So this to me is finding people of all different ages and just standing up and saying, we don't like what's going on. So this is a starting point, I think, for me. It's like to raise awareness but it's also the next step after this has to be having conversations with the people who are driving by, who are, shaking their heads no and giving the thumbs down. It's like, okay, let's talk about that. What is it that you disagree with this sign that I'm holding? So that's why I'm here. It feels good.
Excellent. Thank you.
So, it's a nice day today, and I wanted to go take some pictures in the park. And so I drove over to there from my gym, and I came across this, and I realized that, as I'm sure you agree, this is a lot more interesting to take photos of, because this is a time in America that is, I believe, going to go down in history. The kind of photos that I would want to show to my grandchildren. And why I picked up the sign, it's so important to me right now to be in a space where I feel like I'm being heard and people understand, rather that I'm in a space where people understand why I feel the way that I do politically. Because as a young man, I'm surrounded by a lot of very, very conservative young men. And they're good people who fundamentally disagree with me on pretty much every single political stance that I have. And I completely agree. What was your name?
Denise.
Denise. I completely agree with Denise that conversations with those people are the most important thing that we can be doing right now, because Trump was elected by the people, not overwhelmingly so, but there was a small majority, and the way that we're going to stay away from that happening again is by, as a people, recognizing that that this isn't working. And so I'm, in a way of the mind, let him screw everything up, let him mess everything up, make sure that he messes things up just enough so that people cannot look at that and lie to themselves and believe that he is what's right for this country. Because even if he dies, even if all of these men die, there will always be more people like that who prioritize power over democracy. And so what we need to do is come together, all of us, even the people who voted for him. We need to come together and we need to find what we really, really want for this country and the right way to go forward and what actually will be good for everyone.
Well said.
Thank you. Thank you.
So what brings you to Exeter to this protest?
Well, I happen to live in Exeter, and I came down to the protest today because I was invited by a group of friends, and I quite honestly just can't stay silent about what's happening anymore. The madness just continues to spiral out of control day after day, and the longer we stay silent, the more we allow it to happen. So this is my way of contributing to the resistance and trying to get some sense to arise to the people in Washington and get them to start fighting back.
Thank you.
I'm sure that's a one that you want, but
Yeah. So what brings you to this protest?
I am so upset about what's happened with this administration. I am disgusted and I'm alarmed at the dismantling or the attempt to dismantle the Department of Education, for goodness sakes. I volunteer. Thank you. I volunteer in an inner city school in Manchester, and those little kids need all the help they can get, and to pull any dollars away from them is an outrage. And of course there's the travesty and tragedy of what he is doing to the Ukrainian people. And I'm sick. It's just got to stop. And so this is the way I feel like I can have a little power and feel good about what I'm doing to counteract what he's doing.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So what brings you to this protest in Exeter?
Rage and fear. It's my country, and to see what's happening is breaking my heart, for myself, but mostly for my grandchildren, and for all the people who are being destroyed. My daughter is head physician I won't say where, and her life is a living hell because of what the cuts in healthcare and what's happened to women's health. But that's just the start of it. My cousin is a cardiologist at a veterans hospital in upstate New York. They're gouging out the Veterans Administration. It breaks my heart. It's outrageous, it's random, it's mean, and it's done in collusion with Putin. Do I want to live in a country controlled by a shady deal between the President of the United States and Putin? No. So that's why I'm here.
Well said. Thank you. So, sir, why are you visiting Exeter and protesting for a range of issues that you're showing on your signs?
Well, this is not the country that I grew up in. When I grew up, people respected the rule of law. There were no kings. I mean, that's one of the reasons why we had a revolution. And to see what's happening to the country, to me, is really disturbing. So I really think in order to save our democracy, the people need to take action. So that's one thing. And then I think the other piece of it is that Trump and his sycophants are just very they're mean-spirited. They really don't care about anything but themselves. Essentially, Trump is like a godfather of a mob family, and he's running the country for his own personal good and not for the country's good. So the combination of the two, the worry about our democracy and also seeing who's in charge, essentially a mobster, that's what brings me out here today. Not to mention, what's happening with Ukraine, I think is a horrible thing. I think he's also sold out a lot of his supporters. A lot of people that voted for him thinking they were going to get improvement in the economy. I think he sold them out, and that's classic mobster behavior. Once those tariffs start hitting and all those other things, and people start getting cutbacks on their Social Security checks, their health care, then people will see that he sold them down the river, so to speak.
Buyer's remorse, right? Voters' remorse.
Trumpism is more or less a cult, so it's going to take a lot to sort of break the spell with some people.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you very much.
Sure.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm here with the protest, and I'm wondering why you're here in the protest.
I'm here because I'm so upset over everything that Trump and Elon Musk are doing to our government, and also to how that affects everyday lives, people in poverty, people barely making it, and my question is why? Why is he doing it? Why does he attack these institutions like the Department of Education? What is wrong there? So I'm here because you feel so much better with your feelings and your thoughts around what is going on when you're with a group of folks and you're getting the horns and all of that from the people around you.
Excellent. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, why are you here at this protest?
I am here because I want to save our democracy. It is under attack, and we need to stop it. Plain and simple as that. We need to save our democracy.
Some people would find that a little nebulous. Are there specific things that you don't like about the direction of our country right now?
Mostly that the president right now is loving our enemies, loving Putin, not helping Ukraine. He's talking about taking over Canada, taking over Greenland, taking over the Panama Canal, taking over Gaza. I mean, that's not what America is. We're supposed to be helping people, not taking over people. Taking over. He just did it for the money. And Elon Musk, the co-president, is just destroying America so that he can make more money.
Yeah.
And it's going to stop. The tyranny is going to stop.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So, why are you here at this Exeter protest?
I am here to support my neighbors, to stand up for trans rights, for immigrants' rights, really everything. The attack on the Department of Education has been wild to me. That's why I want to be here today, especially after all of this stuff. Yeah, just support each other, be in community with nice people, cheer for people. Yeah, exactly. Anything else?
Is there anything else that you want to share about the way this country's going?
There's so much to say. I mean, the hate on DEI has been just crazy to watch, especially during the campaign season. I worked a lot in DEI work, especially at my school, so it's been really unfortunate to see all the hate, even from local community members, which has been really awful. But to hear from our politicians, our kids my age are growing up seeing politicians talk and speak to their neighbors that way and their constituents that way, and that's just not all right. So, yeah, sad world to grow up in, I guess, but
Well said. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, Rich, what brings you to this protest today?
Well, I think that with everything going on in the country right now, especially with immigrants coming to the country. Given my parents were immigrants from Armenia, I felt that I need to be here. And obviously if they weren't here, I wouldn't be here. It's the story of millions of people in our country, and we are a melting pot. We are a country of immigrants. And I think the way that many are being treated are just my wife and I are working with a lot of the Afghanistan refugees that are coming to Manchester, and legally, and still very frightened about what may happen to them and their families. And it's just not the country that I remember and that I right now am ashamed of.
So, what brings you to Exeter to this mass protest?
Well, I just want to be part of the resistance to try to save our democracy, because it's being dismantled on a daily basis.
Any more?
That's the big overarching thing, but I'm also worried about specific issues like immigration, student loans, public education, oligarchy, all of those threats to democracy.
Yeah, great. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Of course, thank you.
So what brings you to this protest in Exeter, Bob?
Well, actually, she's a member, colleague, Karen Kudra, sent me some information about it. So Karen said they're having a protest here, 4:30 to 6. I said I'd be here. Happy to support and resist the loss of democracy in this country. Our constitutional freedoms are, especially the First Amendment, where the present government is trying to stifle our freedom of speech, especially on college campuses. And Mahmoud Khalil is now being detained in Louisiana prison without due process. And this is happening to other people. ICE agents are just removing people without a warrant, without any explanation, and they're being detained. They're ignoring our constitutional right to freedom of the press, freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, and they're using intimidation tactics, and they're using fear as a weapon, and I say bullshit.
And if people like you and others don't protest, where will this lead?
Right. We need to speak. Our voices need to be. We need to make sure that our First Amendment rights are upheld, and we have to hold our congressmen and our representatives, our senators, accountable to hold these our democracy, our rights to their value. Otherwise, our founding fathers would be rolling in their graves, and they probably are. This is it's an assault. It's an affront to our country as a nation. You know, we have a Liberty Bell in Philadelphia. That Liberty Bell is there for a reason. It rings for freedom, and to begin to watch the freedoms start to erode and be taken away, and no, I say no to that. You know, that the Liberty Bell is there for a reason. Our Constitution is there for a reason. Benjamin Franklin said that if you begin to lose your liberty for the sake of security, that's called tyranny.
Thank you very much. Okay, we're rolling.
Okay. Because I think it's important that we show up for things like this, because we're in real trouble if we don't come together.
We're here to defend democracy.
Yeah, right.
Without it,
Yeah.
what are we?
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
This is a great opportunity.
And if enough people don't stand up for democracy,
We lose it.
we lose it. Good.
Ben Franklin told us that.
He did. Yeah.
That's correct.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Scared to death that our democracy is under attack and we're going to lose our country. And America has always been great.
Always. Thank you. Why are you here protesting?
Try to help save our
Nice and loud.
I'm here to try to help save our democracy. I'm
Yeah.
very afraid
Yeah.
of losing.
How about some specifics? What are you most fearful of? I mean, democracy is a broad concept. Are there components of that that you see are being frittered away?
Rule of law,
Yeah.
ignored.
Yeah.
I mean, people being snatched off the streets. There's a lot happening now that really.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Kath.
Like everybody else, in that we are really frightened and worried and discouraged about what is going on. And that means not just Musk, but Trump himself, who's out of control, and it's a very chaotic government right now. And I just feel bad for people getting fired and people not receiving benefits, possibly. So there's a lot. There's so many issues.
We also believe it clearly isn't Congress that's going to change this, it's the people.
That's right.
And that's why we're here.
That's right.
Thank you for coming out.
Yes.
So what brings you to this protest in Exeter?
I'm back from spring break in college, and one of my things to do is I wanted to bring my family out to a protest, have people know what's going on in this country, and just wanted to be out here, have a good time, see what people think.
And are you talking with other folks here?
What?
Are you talking with other folks here?
Yeah, I got my mom
fine.
right here.
Yeah.
I've had people come left and right to me, having good conversations. So, yeah,
Excellent.
been good.
Excellent. Thank you.
Yeah.
why are you here, and what do you hope to accomplish?
I'm here as a mom and as a school nurse, and I think people matter, and so I want people to know what's going on, and I hope that this brings information to people, that there's big things happening. And there's a dog behind me. What was the other question you had for me?
No, what do you hope to accomplish? I mean,
What do I hope to accomplish from this?
yes.
Just bringing awareness to people. I really want people to know that, people matter, and it's not just on television, it's real.
Yeah, it's really happening.
It's really happening.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, Beth, what brings you to this protest in Exeter? Why are you here?
Here because I'm really frightened for everyone in the country, especially all the poor people that are getting screwed every day. Another foot drops and something else terrible has happened, and I'm very frightened, and I'm here to bring public awareness to all the terrible things that are happening every single day.
It's steamrolling. I mean, it's just unbelievable. Well, thank you for coming out. Appreciate it. So, why are you here at this Exeter protest?
I am here because we need to speak out. We need to show our fellow citizens that we do not have to lie down and take everything that's being dished out, that we can resist, that we can encourage other people to speak out as well.
And what do you hope to accomplish by that?
I hope enough people will realize that we have much to be grateful for in America, and we need to defend it. We need to build on what everybody has built in the past rather than tear everything down, and build something wonderful for the future.
Thank you. Well said. Protest.
Well, I wanted to get, to me, the primary thing is rule of law, which both sides should follow. I mean, who is against the rule of law? Only anarchists. And I think Trump and Musk are just anarchists. They're tearing it down, hoping it will come back up at some point under their control.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Appreciate you being here. Yes.
Well, number one, I live here. Well, actually, that's not number one. I am here because I did not vote for a dictator. I am an empathetic soul that believes that everyone has rights to healthcare. Healthcare has rights to. This is really hard. I'm sorry. I'm going to start crying. That's why I don't like to do these. I have had an ectopic pregnancy, I've had a miscarriage, and I've had an abortion. And none of those things, I could have died if I didn't get the health care that I needed. And so and part of that was strongly part of, I was in a domestic violence relationship. And without the health care, I would have died. And I have seen young women in other states that are not getting the surgeries that they need, and they're going into septic shock. And I don't want them to, lose their life because of somebody's religious beliefs or beliefs that, this unborn embryo matters more than her life. I want veterans to get the care that they need. My mom's cousin has complications from Agent Orange. And recently as in 5 years ago, they finally found a doctor that was close to them. And now he may not even be able to get the telehealth or have a provider that's close to him. I'm not here for just myself.
Yeah,
I'm here for everybody. It's a fundamental right to have health care, to be able to work, to be able to live, and be able to afford, and not have to pick. You shouldn't have to pick whether you're going to keep your job or you're going to have surgery on your shoulder. You shouldn't be fired or laid off because you have to take care of your kid.
Right. Yeah. Well said. Thank you.
Thank you.